The Weekly Quest is sponsored by Nerd Fuel. Hey Questers, happy weekend and welcome to the Weekly Quest. We've got some fun news and updates this week, so let's do this. If you've ever played Crisis Brigade on the Oculus Quest, then you know how amazing and difficult it is. From ducking behind cover to blasting bad guys, this is one of the coolest arcade-style shooter games in VR. According to SideQuest, the title has received more than 70,000 downloads on SideQuest since it was released on the platform. That's a ton of sideloading, which makes this next bit unfortunate. After submitting to Oculus again for an official Quest release, the game has been denied for a second time by Oculus. This time, the dev was invited to join Oculus Start, which is a guided pathway that Oculus has created to help developers get their game concept onto their stores and platforms. The developer has sent in their application, so it'll be interesting to see what happens next. Speaking of Oculus Start, this week Chris Pruitt, the director of content ecosystem at Oculus, took to Twitter to give a little bit of insight to the Quest's curation process and to welcome Diego Martin, one of the developers behind Crisis Brigade, to the Oculus Start program. Chris Pruitt said, "Focus on polish and quality for Quest has driven real developer success. We found that honest, actionable feedback requires more than a form letter or a checklist of things to fix. Devs are most successful when we have an ongoing relationship over the course of development. That's part of the reason we ask first for a concept document rather than a playable build for the concept approval title on Quest. We want to give early signal before the developer has spent significant resources on a project. We designed Oculus Start/Launchpad to incubate and support devs, which is why we sometimes recommend it to concepts we've declined. These programs are more to nurture promising devs and to provide support and resources to grow their work. We also understand that many devs and enthusiasts are looking for easy ways to access and distribute applications outside of the Oculus Store. This is an area we're actively thinking about. More to share soon." Did you catch that last bit in there? It seems like Oculus is looking into a way for devs and others to more easily get their content out there for Questers to play outside of the Quest store. What does that mean for SideQuest? I don't know right now, but my hope is that Oculus is working with SideQuest to create a platform that makes it even easier for users to access additional games and experiences. Vader Immortal was one of the first experiences many people played on the Quest, and as a huge Star Wars fan, I loved all 3 episodes. Now there is a rumor going around that another Star Wars VR game is in the works, and it may just be set in the new High Republic time period. Although there aren't any specific details yet, Jordan Mason from Cinelix has said he has heard from a couple of independent sources that a new Star Wars VR game is in development. He says his educated guess would be that it would be in the same style as Vader Immortal, and while that would still be awesome, I'd love to see them take it to a more free-roam direction with a longer format. What is the one thing you're dying to do in the Star Wars universe in VR? You may have heard of Project Terminus VR, which is billed as a survival horror VR FPS with Half-Life vibes. The official description says, the game will take place in the city of Paris, suddenly submerged in chaos, when an invasion from unknown sources breaks out in the city. Paris will gradually become a large quarantine area, where the only living things are survivors, assimilated, and military forces trying to investigate what's happening. An alpha demo launched on SideQuest in January, and now the developers are back, and they're going to need our help. Starting on March 17th, they're going to be launching a Kickstarter campaign to help finish the game, and at the same time, they'll be releasing a brand new gameplay demo of the first half-hour opening sequence of the game on SideQuest. The game looks awesome so far, and I'm excited to see where they go with it. You can check out more about the game and their timeline at the link in the description. Let's take a quick sponsor break, and then we'll talk about some more games. If you're looking for a morning pick-me-up, or heck, any time of the day, I'm not judging, check out Nerd Fuel. Nerd Fuel makes smooth and delicious small batch coffee, both whole bean and ground. This ain't your daddy's coffee either. With flavors like maple bacon and apple cinnamon, you'll be ready to jump back into your game and kick some tail, or just take on the day. Nerd Fuel is all about making the world a better and nerdier place, so they donate 20% of all profit to charity. Plus, with their Nerd Guarantee, if you don't love your coffee, they'll send you another bag on them. So check them out at nerdfuel.com. Everyone seems to be talking about Half-Life Alyx right now, and with good reason. Valve has just released 2 new Steam home environments this week, and although you're supposed to have a Valve index to use them, there is a workaround. So if you use VD or Link, you can now check out the Alyx-themed locations. It's quite easy, and I'll leave a link to the tutorial in the description. I have to say that these environments look absolutely amazing, so do yourself a favor and check them out. They are free after all. Speaking of virtual desktop, the brand new update that I mentioned last week that was in beta has officially launched, and it works amazingly. And it even has its own tray so you can launch Steam and Oculus games with a click of a button. If you haven't updated yet, then I highly recommend it. Doctor Who: The Edge of Time just got an update this week that enhances the visual fidelity of the game and also adds some fixes to some specific bugs. Overall, this game has a ton of potential, and when I played it, it was fun, but some people did have issues with it, so I'm excited to see them continuing to update the experience. If you enjoy team-based multiplayer games, then you are in for a treat this April. Space Team VR will be launching on VR platforms in April. Space Team VR is a cooperative shouting game where you'll jump into a space team and you have to shout back and forth at each other to try to save your ship and advance to the next level. I have to say, it looks like a heck of a lot of fun. Although I'm sure, depending on the difficulty level, some people will get more than a little stressed out. Last week I mentioned Lies Beneath coming to the Quest on March 31st, and this week we got another quick teaser showcasing some shotgun gameplay, and I have to say, it looks awesome. We didn't see any new games launched this week, but if you've been waiting on grabbing Aspire 1 and Path of the Warrior, then you are in luck. Right now on the Quest store you can grab the Duo Pack and save yourself a little cash while grabbing 2 awesome games. Also, Orbis VR, the VR MMORPG, saw a permanent price drop this week, down to $19.99, so if you've been waiting to grab it, it's much more accessible now. SideQuest did see several new experiences this week, one of which is a pre-release version of Thunder Bullet VR, a survival sci-fi FPS that people seem to really like so far. One other experience launched on SideQuest this week is Triton VR, another early release version of a game, but this one is very interesting. It's a 1v1 FPS that requires a large area to play, as you'll physically be moving around. The concept is great, and I can't wait to take time to play it. Well, that's all I've got for you this week, but if you want to continue to get the most out of your Quest, then hit that little red button down there and hit the bell icon. Plus, if you want more Quest content to watch over the weekend, you can check out more right there. Thank you so much for watching, and happy questing.